Thanks for tuning in. It's the one and only Optibottoms coming to with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to all of the absolutely incredible contributions from my Optibottomist Plus channel members, we're going to be taking a look at the new Disney Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull prop replica. Now, this is the third replica from the Indiana Jones franchise that I picked up from Disney. The first being the Sankara Stone, followed by the Fertility Idol. The only other one that I'm kind of on the fence about, despite the fact that it's probably my favorite of all of them, would be the Holy Grail. The problem, though, is when I look at images of it, I don't like the paint applications on it. I have an unlicensed one that I like a whole lot more, and I know that the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is widely regarded as the worst of all the Indiana Jones movies, and I'll preface all of this by saying that I agree with that statement. It's not that I don't like the movie, though. I actually do enjoy it, but when you're ranking them, it does fall at the very bottom. But of all the replicas, I thought that the Crystal Skull really stood out and looked really very cool. It is also the most expensive one. At about $250, this one was definitely on my radar, but I was also on the fence about it because of that price tag. And like, did I want to pay that much for something from a movie that's, Well, obviously you have the answer, as we're looking at it right now. For the package, though, I love what they do with it in terms of making it look like a crate. You can see you got this wood sort of design with the crystal skull and the actual skull seemingly branded into the side of the wood. Really very cool. You come around to this side here, and it says Temple of the Crystal Skull, which again is in reference to one of the Indiana Jones attractions. Come around here to this side, it says Top Secret, Army Intel. It's got the Epic Stunt Spectacular, which is the live show that they do at Disney World. And then, what else? The Temple of the Forbidden Eye. So you have all that stuff on there, which is cool. And then again, this just kind of slides up just like so. And then on the inside here, you got this really cool read-up about the Crystal Skull and kind of where they get the inspiration for it. So if you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. And you can see that there's actually some kind of historical reference to the whole concept of the Crystal Skull. Now, we know that the creators of Indiana Jones, specifically Steven Spielberg, really did not want to do this movie. George Lucas really did kind of sell the idea of this. And one thing that I like that a lot of people to this day still kind of get wrong is they view these as aliens. Well, they're not aliens. They're interdimensional beings. They do kind of look like aliens, but everyone kind of complains, oh, it's so far-fetched. Well, is it, I mean, honestly, is it more far-fetched than what we saw in the Temple of Doom? Or even the religious aspects of the Raiders of the Lost Ark or The Last Crusade? I mean, pick and choose what you want. But for the packaging, that's about it. So, here is the Crystal Skull itself. And, again, this really did kind of surprise me. First of all, it is made out of resin, so very solid, but you can hear the stare right into the eyes. That's how you're not supposed to do that. But very solid. Now, one thing that I did notice is that it does seem like it's a little bit undersized. It should be a little bit bigger. Now, they did use multiple skulls when they were doing the movie. So this might be a good reference for one of them. And I think that it's okay. But size-wise, it is a little bit smaller than I would like it to be. But that doesn't mean that the detail is lacking. I love when you look in here, you got a very cool, I don't know how well that's going to come across, but a layered sort of image that you can see the internal sections. And then even when you look at the actual front bit right here with the front of the skull, you can see a lot of layered in detail. Absolutely gorgeous. Large eyes, the head is elongated, and it really does have a very smoky, crystal sort of look. Even with, like, when you do look into those eyes, I mean, that is really very, very nice. Now, one part that, like I said, $250. One part that does kind of disappoint me is this bottom section. Now, you got like these little ridges right here where it kind of sits in here. I kind of wish that they put something here, like if you remember on the Sankara Stone, they actually had a little piece right here that covered that and kind of made it kind of blended a little bit better. Now, granted, you're going to have that sitting there, so you're not going to really notice too much about it. But, I mean, I wish that they would have done a little bit something different here. And again, it's not entirely accurate. I know the original prop, there were like lines and stuff going through it, and like I said, it is fairly small, to just like give you a comparison, I don't know what I have around here. Here's a 3 3/4 inch figure. There, I guess. I don't know. The best part about this, though, is the fact that it does light up. It does include batteries, which is nice, but you have the light switch right down here. So I'm going to turn my lights off, and now I'm going to flip the switch and activate it. And you can see that it does kind of slowly pulsate on, which is nice, and that is really cool. Now, granted, you see the majority of the light comes from this section right here. So it does kind of leave this front bit, which you kind of can't see, kind of a little bit darker, but you can see that the light does really nicely kind of shine through the majority of the skull, just not so much here in the front, but that is really quite cool looking, and I don't know how well that's going to come across on the camera, but it really does have a very bright look to it. Now, when you do turn it off, I'm going to switch to the off section. You'll notice that, oh, actually, is it already doing it? It already kind of feels, no, maybe it's not me, I was just going crazy. But flipping the switch off, you can see that it slowly fades. And then again, turning it back on, you can see that it slowly comes back on. So I really like the light effect on here. I think it's really cool. I mean, I love that look. I mean, that right there, that's going to be the thumbnail, I think. Yeah, that's going to be really super cool. You're not going to, I mean, you can kind of see the light kind of bleeding through here with all my studio lights on and everything, but turning that off, you can see that it slowly fades off, and then again, putting it on, you can see that it slowly fades back on. But as I said, the majority of the light's going to come through here, so this whole area does stay lit up pretty decently. In general, I am happy with it. Do I think it's worth $250? Probably not. I mean, I think that the layering is amazing. The crystal replication is really good. This is very heavy. I definitely think that you were paying a little bit more than what you should, though. Realistically, like I said, $250, I'd be happier if it was about $100 less. 150, 175, I'd probably be a little bit happier with it. It's still really cool, and I'm glad that I have it for my collection. Again, it's one of those things, though, do you want to pay that much money for a replica from a movie that is not as popular, I guess? And that's a tough one. For me as an Indiana Jones fan, definitely, just because it is part of the franchise. It's part of the legacy of Indiana Jones. We are getting a 5th Indiana Jones movie. How that one turns out, you know, only time will tell. But I'm definitely curious to see what they're going to do with it, considering this was the kind of lowest common denominator. So we'll see. Now, as I mentioned, I got this through Disney. You can't get it at the Shop Disney online store. I think it's available. I'm not 100% sure, but you can check shopdisney.com. Or if you are local to Anaheim here, I do know that they sell it inside the park. So, again, if you have any kind of discounts or anything, that could work. If you're a Magic Key holder or something like that, you probably get discounts on this so that you're going to be able to save a little bit of money. If that's the case, I would definitely pick it up. It's just one of those things where, again, how big of an Indiana Jones fan are you, I guess? But for me, this was definitely going to be a must-have, just because I do think it's kind of cool. And as I said, I still enjoy Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So there you go, guys. There's my look at the new Disney Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull prop replica. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. And as always, please remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you all for watching and taking the time to be a kid.